Lee, thanks for joining us. We get ready for your first home game of the season in the league. First one done and dusted, of course, and what an afternoon it was, no doubt about it. And 22 shots as well in that game for your team. How pleasing was that?
Yeah, obviously that's one of the most pleasing things to come out with it. And I think it's credit to the players, the energy and aggression that they showed, willingness to run forward. Most importantly, the willingness to get the shots away. A lot of work had been done. Kenny and Jacko done a lot of work with individuals in the pre-season about getting them shots away, creating them opportunities and being in the right positions. So obviously we've set ourselves a high benchmark. I don't think we got anywhere near that the whole of last season. So you know, it's a good start. That's all it is a good start. Let's see if we can replicate something like it on Saturday.
Well, it was a terrific day for your supporters, no doubt about it, and they were there in the numbers. They appreciated the style and the approach that you sent out with your team. For you, and you mentioned your staff as well, how pleasing is it that they can transfer what you're doing Monday to Friday, let's say, on the training ground, to a Saturday afternoon or a Tuesday night?
Yeah, it was really pleasing, more pleasing on that individual front because of what type of game that you get against Salford. The man for man, it becomes quite frantic. So just them little bits of details which the staff have been getting into the players was there to see, which is really pleasing. Confidence to get the ball under pressure. Confidence to play forward, confidence to get the shots away. So it was really pleasing. And like I say, the fans fully appreciated the performance. You could see that at the end of the game. It was the most intense game, again, in terms of intensity. We'd have beat anything that we did last year. So we've got to try and maintain that, and there's going to be some blips along the road with that. Because of the human beings, sometimes it's going to be difficult, but we'll be putting the pressure on them to sustain that throughout the season, in training, straight back to work on Monday morning in terms of what we want to look like in the training sessions, not dwelling on what was a good win away from home. It's back to work, make sure you're concentrating on the basics with an element of trying to get to that type of performance again on a more regular basis.
Well, you gained that comfortable win with some real good attacking play and you were scoring goals as well. But you did also mention after the game, you were quickly to point out there were still things to be working on, as there always is. What will you be looking for then, that little bit extra when you come up against Accrington on Saturday?
Yeah, well, it's a different opposition, a slightly different style in terms of how they press. We might be able to gain a little bit more control in the game, but without taking away, that oomph, that going forward, the people willing to run in behind, pick up second phases, which is important. So there is elements of the game that we hope will look slightly different. They've had a good start to the season. They did well last night. They played well. A really energetic team. Moved the ball around nicely and look to get the ball into the box as often as possible. So it will be a slightly different game, and we've got to adjust to that and make it look a little bit different.
A lot of your players quite rightly earned the plaudits from the weekend from the national press as well. But we just want to talk about one player at the moment and the progress that Owen L's made. It's not been easy for him, but he's worked at it, he's stuck at it. You've stuck with him, and now he's earning a place in your first team, starting 11. That must be pleasing for the whole group of players here.
Yeah, and he did well around this point last year. He was in and around the team, and you say it's not been easy for him. Sometimes my decision making in terms of what team you pick makes that even harder for him. What he's got to do is maintain his standards. I thought he was fantastic on Saturday, and that's what he's got to be, Owen. We produce a certain type of player, don't we? At Crew, he's slightly different to that type, and he's got to become a master of it. And he set his own benchmark, and they're the expectations that we have of Owen to be able to influence the game. Because I thought he really influenced it in terms of getting in dangerous areas, breaking up the play. Didn't give their deep midfield player 2 seconds on the football. There's probably one occasion. So I'm pleased for Owen, but again, like every young player in the team, it's about maintaining the standards that they've set.
Well, we're just talking about individual players. Can you bring us up to date on how the injury situation is? Matas Olicek and Jack Lancaster, we know all about where Shiloh Tracy and Joel Taberner are, but what about those two lads? How are they going?
Yeah, moving along nicely. Matas was kicking a ball about yesterday. He'll do that again today. with a view to getting him involved in training next week, which is pleasing. I'm telling him just get on with it. It's a bit of pain, get on with it, but no, we listen to the sports science and the medical team. So hopefully he'll be integrated back into training, which is pleasing next week. Jack's doing really well. It'll be a few weeks off yet, we would think, and it's a different situation to Mattis. Mattis covered a lot of distance in pre-season, so we won't be rushing Jack. We want him to be able to be available for the majority of the games. So we'll be led by that in terms of what minutes and when he really is integrated in training. But he's kicking the ball about, doing running, looks in great condition. So hopefully again with Jack, it'll be a matter of weeks before he's back in the team.
Any update on Zach Williams' situation?
No, nothing's changed with Zach. No, there's been no change with that. We had a conversation yesterday. There's constant dialogue, and if I'm honest, the dialogue that needs to be had is above me. It's out of my remit really with that. So the club speaking to his agent, Josh is speaking to his agent. If there's any update, I'll let you know. But he's in training well.
Well, you've got 2 back-to-back home games coming up, and you also mentioned on many occasions how you want to make the Mournfleet Stadium, a fortress, and this is the start of it. It can be a big benefit to you for the rest of the season. Yeah,
and I think it is something that we've been able to do, and then what's happened along the way with that, there's been poor runs of form in the last 2 seasons, which then deflect away from how well we've actually been done it at home. But it's down to us, down to the players. If we want to make it a difficult place to come, the blueprint was there on Saturday. They've got to emulate that at home and make it real difficult for teams to be able to come and impose themselves. So it's all about what we do and how we counteract the opposition. But going into the game, looking to be on the front foot, looking to be exciting, and hopefully creating them types of chances that we created Saturday. But it's all down to us. Your mentality is everything. It's a 45 game season now. What you did on Saturday means nothing come the end of the game on Saturday.
Yeah, it was a much changed Accrington side from the Saturday opener from them in the week. You've already mentioned you looked at them. What are you expecting when he sends his side out, John Doolan?
A really well organised team that will work for each other. I say you could hear him last night about moving the ball quickly and passing it. They'll want to play. Young team, plenty of energy in there. But again, it's down to what we want to do, how we want to turn up, what mentality and attitude individually they take into the game, and then working collectively as units. So it's all about what we do, and we've got to maintain our standards. And if we maintain our standards and we have blips along the way, then I'll accept that. But it's about, obviously, the bar that was set is getting somewhere in and around that and concentrating on what we want to look like.
Just one final point as we count down to the end of August the 31st. Have you got any update on how your recruitment's going?
Yeah, we were at it yesterday. Had a bit of a setback with one who looks like he's going to go to another club, which would have been a nice signing, and it just calmed everything down for a little bit. We'd have been happy with what we've got. Then it would give us a bit of time to see if anyone would have come available that we've got targeted, but not really any further forward now with that. Texted a couple of managers last night about a couple of their players. One was positive feedback, one wasn't. So we'll just see how it goes, but we definitely need to strengthen in a certain area to be able to have the options when the time comes. People need a rest.